Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In the past I've gotten a few questions on how I boil eggs, and you guys know I boil eggs all the time, so I'm just jumping right into this video and gonna show you guys how I perfectly boil eggs. And I'm gonna just flat out say that I crack a few eggs in this video, but you'll see it's kind of okay if they crack. So all I'm gonna do is fill up this pot with water. And then all I'm gonna do is put it on the stove. And then I'm gonna turn the stove burner to high, and this is just to get the water boiling pretty fast. The next thing I do is get out the eggs and open them up because I want to get them to kind of room temperature. It's not actually room temperature, but it's not as cold as it was in the refrigerator. Before I do anything else and before the water starts boiling, I put in salt. You can't really go too heavy on the salt, so as you can see here, I just make sure there's a lot of salt in there. This helps make the shell a little hard so it won't crack, but you'll see I crack eggs in this and it's embarrassing, but this is just like my routine, so some eggs will crack. That's just how life is. Once your water is boiling, I like to turn down the heat. So I'm gonna turn this to like the 6-ish. That's kind of where I keep it most of the time, as you can see. And then I'm gonna start putting in the eggs. I just use this metal spoon kind of to like lower the eggs in, and you'll see this is the one, I think it was already cracked because like once I set it in there, like it already started coming apart. So that was awkward. And a little trick, so you're not just like dropping the eggs in there, is lowering them, kind of like using the side as a guide. So you're not like just dropping it in there, you're kind of like scooping it in there. I don't know, you'll just have to see in the video. I think I did a kind of good job showing it, but I kind of use the edge of the pot to lower the eggs in. After they're all in, I'm gonna set the timer for 20 minutes. And I just suggest this time because this is the time I always use and my eggs always turn out really well. And then I adjust the temperature so there's like a light boil. So they should be boiling kind of like that. You don't want them too rapid. And even though I already have cracked eggs, I still don't want them to be like hitting against each other so hard. So again, around the 6, but you don't want the boil to be too heavy. When you see the eggs have about 1 more minute, you want to fill up a cup of ice, and I'll show you guys what you're going to do with this after. It's kind of self-explanatory, but it helps with the cooling process. Once you get the eggs off, you're going to pour out that hot water and you're going to run it under cold water, kind of like what I'm doing here. Once you get all kind of the hot water out, you're just gonna fill up the pot of eggs with cooler water, and then what you're gonna do is pour the ice in. This is a good way to save water, and it helps cool the eggs down at a faster rate. Once all filled with ice, you're gonna wait for about 10 minutes before you dump everything out, and the pot is gonna be super cold. Then what I do after I pour out the water is just put the eggs back in the carton, and you'll see I actually use the cracked eggs first. I just take off the little thing that's like attached to them and just use those first to eat because they're actually super easy to peel because they're already cracked. And you'll kind of see when I do the little time lapse and show you guys when I actually peel the eggs and get them ready for my lunch. So starting off, I'm just gonna take this and run it underwater, take that thing off, and it's already cracked. So if you do all these steps, it should come off pretty easily. Kind of like what I'm showing you here. It just comes off so sleek and you don't have any trouble. I do like to leave out the eggs after they get out of the refrigerator a little bit because that helps them kind of get to room temperature before you peel them. But an egg that hasn't cracked, I'm gonna just rub kind of like hard against the sink, and then I'm gonna kind of like rub it with my hands kind of like harshly, and then I'm gonna peel it off kind of like you're peeling a blister off. And I know that sounds gross, but I just never have any issues with this method and it just works so perfectly. And that's pretty much how I boil eggs. I'm just showing you how I cut my eggs and just a little bonus footage for you guys, but I'm just going to cut them kind of like long ways like this because that's just how I like them. And then I clean out the yolk, which actually I've heard that the yolk is not very good for your health, so I guess that's a good thing because I don't like it. And then I just use a paper towel and dry them off because sometimes they're just kind of wet and I don't want all the water in a bag or whatever. So I just put it on a paper towel and just kind of like gently squeeze on it so they're not like too watery, I guess. But anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I hope it was helpful. I've gotten a few DMs asking me like, how do you peel eggs because they always turn out horrible? But with these steps, I can pretty much guarantee you that your eggs will come out pretty well because I've been doing this for years. My parents have been doing this for years. I eat this lunch a lot. So yeah, I highly recommend you give it a try. Leave in the comments or DM me if you try this and it works for you. I would love to know. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.